Welcome to Taking Care of Business on Koerner Radio News Talk 1180 for the best in Saturday Talk Radio at 1 o'clock and on 1230 KGEO at 10 o'clock Saturday, and for the best in Wednesday Talk Radio on 1410 KERI on Wednesday at 1 o'clock. Your host is Clay Koerner, and I'm Marty Pay, and behind the big board is our producer, Greg Held. Hey, Clay, that was a great show last week with Brian Johnson, the Regional Director of the National Right to Life and the Director of Life Fest.
Yeah, it was interesting talking to Brian.
Yeah, he's a lot of fun. I enjoy not only his perspective, obviously, on the life issue, but this thing he's got going with Life Fest is pretty exciting. It's a celebration of those pro-life members of the Hollywood community, honoring their films and the actors. And it's going to be at the LA Convention Center May 4th through May 6th. So it's actually Saturday today and Sunday. And let's see, you and I both have two comments we want to make. I wanted to thank the people I wanted to thank Wendy Porter at the people at the Wounded Heroes Fund. We had a booth at their fundraiser last weekend and got over 200 signatures for on our petition to help release Bo Bergdahl, who's our POW in Afghanistan, and we need to get him out. So far, we've got about 95,000 signatures, is what I've heard. So. And Clay, you had a comment you wanted to make?
Well, after talking to Brian about the end-of-life situation, which he and I differed on a little bit, I have a sad note to deliver. This past week, I've had 3 friends or clients die, and one of those was Naomi Poppin. She's the wife of Roger Poppin, who's the former pastor at Laurel Glen Bible Church. And Naomi was one classy lady with a great wit, and I'm really sorry that she passed. And her funeral will be coming up this coming Monday at Laurel Glen Bible Church at 11:30 a.m. But on a positive note, life is good, and we really just need to know who's in charge.
Who's in charge? I like that. Yeah, definitely. Ultimately, who's in charge?
Well, one more comment I wanted to make about another friend of the show, Brandon Martin, the former head of the CSUB Small Business Center in Kern County, has resigned.
Yes.
And we wish him much success. Look forward to having him back on the show. Brandon's substituted for me a couple of times when I've had a couple of surgeries. He's a great guy, and he's got a great future ahead of him.
And one of the guests that we had when he did co-host with me is a guest we're going to be having on in the near future. I'm not going to mention his name yet, but maybe we can bring Brandon in. It'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, Brandon's a great guy.
Yes, he is. We've got a great show today. In the second half, we've got a legend here in Bakersfield in studio, Rockwell from Trouts. But our first guest has been in the news quite a bit lately. I want to introduce her by telling a story. One of my favorite movies is Glory with Denzel Washington and Morgan Freeman. Just before the battle, the colonel, played by Matthew Broderick, points at the man holding the flag and says, "If this man goes down, who will pick up the flag?" A man stepped up. The colonel points to him and says, "If this man falls, who will pick up the flag?" And another man stepped forward. Our first guest is a woman who I trust to pick up that flag whenever it falls. Our guest by phone is the Assemblywoman from the 32nd District, Shannon Grove. Shannon, welcome to Taking Care of Business.
Hey, thanks, Marty. How are you?
It's always a pleasure to talk to you.
Has Clay joined us, or is he sleeping?
I will see you either this weekend or next week, so you best be nice to me.
That's right. We're going to see her at the prayer breakfast next week in Sacramento.
That's right. Thursday, you guys are coming up for the prayer breakfast.
Yes, we are.
It's going to be an amazing event. We've got a worship team that'll just knock your socks off, and we've got a speaker, Patrick Mancioni. Oh, my gosh. I just can't wait to hear it.
That's going to be great.
You missed a wonderful meeting this morning, the Current Leadership Alliance, which you were on the committee for.
The Warren Carter Leadership Award breakfast.
They did a great job.
You guys had those breakfasts. You have those things on Thursday mornings, and I have to be up here fighting. Today was a day that was attacked, Second Amendment Day. There are a few bills about the Second Amendment that passed that are just going to keep infringing on our rights.
Oh, no. What passed today?
There was a Portantino bill, a ban on long guns. You know how last year they banned open carry on handguns? This is a ban on open carry for long guns.
Oh, jeez.
So that one, and then another bill that Dickinson introduced, and what it does is There are certain things like a commemorative Ruger 1911, a commemorative Ronald Reagan Ruger 1911. If you wanted to purchase that gun and you lived in California, only a police officer could purchase that gun for you because they could declare it unsafe because of the type of clip that's in it. But police officers could purchase it and sell to a private seller. Now that if that law that just passed the floor today, that police officers could only purchase guns for police officers and do private party sales or trades with other police officers, no more other citizens. So if you want a Ruger 1911 commemorative pistol, you better, that is in honor of Reagan's 100-year birthday, you better get it today.
Wow. So this takes effect immediately then?
Well, as soon as the governor signs it, and I'm sure he'll sign it. He's not your best pro-Second Amendment person.
Right.
So, it's just one of those days on the floor where the Second Amendment is attacked, your First Amendment freedom of speech rights are attacked. They stand up and say that we should be able to not have to deal with these people coming in and expressing how they feel about their Second Amendment rights being attacked. It's like, I'm sorry. Yeah, they have every right to do that. We have garbage truck people that pick up after the occupiers when they're in Sacramento and wherever they're at, and nothing is said or done about that. But if somebody wants to express their opposition and their protest to the bills that continually come down from the California State Legislature on Second Amendment rights, intrusion, they can't protest. Give me a break.
Yeah, it's amazing. I had dinner with you and Jean the other day, and it's amazing. Every time I sit down with you guys, it's just the junk that they come up with in Sacramento. I mean, it's not a question of are they doing something to us. It's what are they doing to us lately.
Exactly. And, at that dinner, I think we were joking about having a TV reality show on legislators because I think it would just be, people would be just amazed because you can't make this stuff up. I mean, stuff that happens all day long, you can't make this up. Like, for instance, today on the floor, there was another bill that came across, and now if you're a foster parent, you're going to have to go through gay, lesbian, transgender, bisexual training because just in case your foster child chooses to change his gender or her gender, then you're going to have to be prepared on how to encourage that child to do so and give them hormone drugs to prevent them from going through puberty and all this stuff. I mean, what about just placing a kid in a home that will love them and help support them because their parents are whatever and they got taken away from their parents for the safety of the child, and it just is amazing. You can't make this stuff up. You can't make it up.
Radical concept. Our guest by phone is 32nd District Assemblywoman Shannon Grove.
Shannon, this is Clay, and
Hi, Clay.
Every time I talk to you and I hear about the bills today and the abortion bill situation, I guess a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, abortion at 1-800 give you an abortion at home.
And then I think about your idea of a part-time legislature. It makes more and more sense, but you're not going to get any support on that, are you?
I don't get support up here on that, but the citizens of the state of California have truly rallied. And even though we had to take a step back and not get the signatures for the 2012 ballot because people are afraid to fund it. They're afraid of retaliation. I have business owners all the time that say, if I fund this, they're going to come after me. And it's really a retaliatory, dictator-type, state that if you disagree with the party in charge, you are going to be retaliated against. And it's really sad. But we are well over halfway there. 302,000 signatures collected, 148,000 banked, which means the signature gatherers have them, and all we have to do is pay for them to get them. So we're over halfway there. We have till July 1st to collect those signatures, and we can do it if we continue to press forward, and we can take the state back because the state belongs to the citizens of California, not career politicians that are up here for the money and not government. It doesn't belong to government.
But with a part-time legislature, even if it passes, don't you think a judge will overturn it?
I think that it would be unconstitutional for the judge to do that because it's a constitutional amendment by the people.
Has that made a difference with our legislators in the past?
If they overturn it, then I guarantee you I will do everything I can to take it all the way to the Supreme Court and fight this issue because the people of the citizens of California used to have a part-time legislature, and under a professional legislature, the question is again, what have you done for me lately over the past 40 years except for pad your pockets? And the bottom line is that if the citizens of the state of California vote to have this, and it is a constitutional amendment, I'll fight it all the way to the Supreme Court.
I think part of the problem is half the legislators up there, especially on the other side of the aisle, wouldn't know what to do with themselves or wouldn't have a job available to them.
That's a huge part of the problem. But this is not really a party issue. I have Democrats, independents, and complete liberals that are supporting this part-time legislature ballot measure, not in leadership or elected office, but citizens on the street that support it. That are it's across party lines, but up here in the building, and the lobbyists and the legislators do not support it. Do not.
There was a great article in the San Diego County newspaper I just saw that talked about the political class doing everything it can to kill this bill, and obviously that's happening.
It is, and they are. They're very active in trying to get it stopped. Just like, I introduced a simple bill about transparency to codify the lawsuit that was filed by the LA Times and the Sacramento Bee to truly make the records of the legislature public. It's public money. It belongs to the taxpayers. They should be able to click a button on the website and say, where is this money being spent? Not hidden in all these different websites and make it completely ridiculous to find. But to truly just codify into law what the judge said after they paid $200,000 of taxpayer money to try to not allow the records to be public. Mm-hmm. Let's go there first. So it was just codifying the law that this is a law, so no future speaker can go, by the way, I think that's not part of the Legislative Open Records Act. It just says, everything that we should be above reproach and everything should be open regarding our budget processes for our offices. Mm-hmm. And they shut it down. They're like, nope.
Crazy.
No, it was kind of went like this. No, 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 yes, yes.
Well, we come back. Let's talk a little more about that initiative, okay?
Okay.
We'll be back in a moment on Taking Care of Business on Koerner Radio, News Talk, 1180.